Today we have another mini series for you. This one is titled Mini Series Leo. It is a little bit larger than some of our other mini series. This one here is Taurus. It sits on a 5x5 instead of a 4x4, and it's also quite a bit taller than some of our previous minis. We'll go ahead with the full tutorial. Okay, we're gonna start building up the base. I felt like this was the best way to get a 5x5, and it was just starting with 4x4, 2 1x4s, and 1 1x1. So we're gonna slide those together like that. And then we're gonna put this 1x4 plate here, 1x1 plate, 4x4 plate, and a 1x4 plate there. Just squeeze it all together. Okay, we're gonna start building up the next 2 layers. This one goes first and then this one. So we're gonna take this 1x3 plate, and that goes there. A 1x2 plate here. Another 1x2 plate. 1x2 plate in white. Another 1x2 plate. A 1x2 tile goes like that in this direction. A 1x1 plate. A 1x2 plate. And then this 1x4 tile is going to sit right like that. And this 1x3 tile like that. And then the next layer will be a 1x1 plate. A 1x2 tile sitting like that. A 1x3 plate. There are several 1x3 plates here, 4 of them. We're going to leave a space here, and we're actually going to leave a space there. And this one sits right on top like that. Next, we're going to build a key that has this rack on it. This is just a 1x4 black rack. We're going to start the key with a 1x1 plate and a 2x2 corner plate. We're going to leave a space right there. We're going to put the rack right like that. And then this 1x1 tile there. And we're going to place this so that this open space just goes right over this magenta tile like this. Okay, we're going to continue to build up the walls. We have a 1x4 plate, a 1x4 brick, a 1x1 plate, a 1x3 plate, and a 1x3 plate. Next, a 1x2 plate is going to go there, 1x1 plate, and a 1x4 plate, and then this 1x2 is going to go in that direction. Okay, the next step is to build the piece with the gear. What we want to do is take this 4-length axle that's got the nail head at the end, put it through this 1x2 Technic brick with a hole, and then the gear, and then another Technic brick, and then this piece goes at the end. This part number is 32474. And if you don't have this piece, it's fine without it. You can always kind of spin it just with your fingers. You can also use pieces like this that have the axle hole through, just to kind of give you something to hold on to, or another piece like this. So it's up to you. You don't have to have this one. I know a lot of people probably do not have this piece, but I wanted to include it because I think it's a fun piece to have if you order all the pieces. So, all right, and then this is going to go right here like this. Right now we can't spin this because that tile is blocking, but if we extend that, now we should be able to move that gear. Some substitutions If you don't have this 1x4 axle with the nail head, this piece here will also work. This one has a length of 3, and you would want to put this one through like this. And then in order to turn this, you can use this cupcake piece. You just put that one on the end and that will turn it. You could also use something like this to turn. I don't like this one quite as much because you can kind of pull it out, whereas when it has the nail head, it stops it from being able to be pulled out. But just use whichever pieces you have to make this portion of it work. Okay, we'll continue to make progress on the walls. We have this 1x4 plate here, a 2x2 corner plate here, 2 1x1 plates. Then we have this 1x2 colored plate and a 1x2 white plate, a 2x2 corner plate here, a 1x4 plate there, and a 1x3 plate. Okay, next we have a 1x3 plate, a 1x1 tile, and a 1x1 plate, followed by another 1x1 plate, and a 1x2 plate. This 1x1 tile is going to sit right here, and then a 1x4 plate there, and a 1x3 plate here. Now we'll build the next layer. We have a 2x2 corner plate like that, another one like this, and there will be a little space there. A 1x3 plate, a 1x2 money tile there, a 1x2 plate, a 1x3 plate. We'll leave that open, and then a 1x2 plate, or sorry, a 1x1 plate there. Okay, we're going to start with this 1x3 plate here, a 2x2 corner plate stacked on top of the one beneath it, a 1x1 plate here, a 1x1 tile, a 1x2 plate, and then this 1x1 brick is going to come right down like that. A 1x4 plate, a 1x1 plate, a 1x1 tile, and another 1x1 plate. Okay, next we're going to start with our key that drops. We want to start with these 1x1 bricks that are round. We need 3 of those. And then a 2x2 round plate. We're just going to put this right on top and leave a space right there. For these round plates and tile, it doesn't matter which ones you choose. These were just ones I had lying around. So we're going to start with a strawberry tile, this 1x1 round. So the first layer is 3 plates and 1 tile, and then we're going to build this side up just a little bit more because we're going to place that tile on top. None of these colors matter. This 2x2 tile, this has quite a few modifications. I've shaved down the sides, I've kind of taken the 90 degrees off of all of these corners. This piece is the piece that has to drop down, and that's why I've used round instead of square pieces. But it still may have trouble dropping depending on your brick tolerances. So it may need some sanding. You might want to avoid this box completely if you're worried about frankenbricking or sanding pieces. But this is the part of the box that can get held up a little bit. This piece is going to sit right in here where we have this open space. That's the part that's going to be closest to this ball joint there. We're going to just slide it in like that. So what essentially is going to happen when this tile is out and someone spins this knob, it's going to drop down, making it impossible to move this rack until that gets out of the way. At this point, you may need to square up some of these corners just to make sure the tile is sitting as cleanly as possible on the stud beneath. That's why we have that little cavity there. And it's just to ensure that when this piece goes in, that it can drop as cleanly as possible. Okay, next we have a 1x2 plate, a 1x2 tile, a 1x2 plate, a 1x4 plate, a 1x2 plate, leaving that space, a 1x2 plate, and a 1x3 plate. And then we have this 2x3 plate here, a 2x2 corner plate, a 1x4 plate, another 1x4 plate, and a 1x2 plate. Okay, and now the tiles. A 1x1 tile, a 1x4 tile, another 1x4 tile, a 2x4 tile, a 2x2 jumper, and another 2x2 jumper, and then the key, which is a 1x6 tile. Okay, now for the solve, you want to remove the key. You might try to spin that because it's so tempting, but first you have to pop out this tile to unlock the gear. Now the gear should move, and when this pops out, you'll hear the piece inside dropping. Hopefully you were able to hear that. Now I'm not able to move that gear anymore. The next thing you want to do is take this tile here and push it in. This will stop the piece that's moving up and down in the right location. So when we flip it upside down, now we can put our key in here and our money will pop out on the other side. And that's it. For the reset, you want to push the money tile in, and then this hole here will push that magenta tile back into position. Then you can tip it upside down. If the falling piece doesn't fall, you can always give it a little tap and then push that gear in, push this tile in, and it's done. The most important thing for this box is to really make sure that that mechanism inside there falls. If it doesn't fall freely, this puzzle isn't going to be that fun. So whether you need to sand that down or use pieces that are slightly modified, that's very important to make this box successful. We also tried to make a trap with this box. I'm going to pop this piece out, that magenta tile. And what it was, we had this green piece here as like a fake money piece. This one here was the real one. And we were hoping that people would stick the key in like this. And if you stick it in 2 lengths, the key can get stuck. Let's see. So I can't, if I pull the key, I can't pull it out all the way. The only way you can do it is if you push down like that. But it has to go in 2 rotations so that it catches on that wheel there. And it just wasn't the cleanest trap, so we kind of abandoned that, but if it would have worked, that would have been really cool. I'll solve it one more time with the lid off just so you can kind of see the mechanics of it. So again, the first step is to pop out that magenta tile, and then when I turn this, that piece there drops down. If I try to solve it there, this 2x2 corner tile is blocking. Next I'm going to extend this magenta tile, and when I tip it upside down, that will allow that moving piece to get trapped one level off. So we'll see if we can hold it the right side up, but kind of trapping that piece. I kind of have it against tension right now so it doesn't drop down. But now everything has shifted up one notch, and that allows me to slide the money tile out. So for Leo, we wanted to play around with this idea of having a piece that can move freely inside the box, that can lock other mechanisms it's connected to. This box can be a little bit finicky, so depending on how well you handle that, it may or may not be the box for you. But hopefully you've enjoyed this full tutorial and solve, and we will see you on the next one. Sheet 3, out.